The conference room lights were surgical, fluorescent execution. My boss, Arthur, leaned back, his smile a wide, ugly sneer. Across the table, Mark, my colleague, accepted the applause for landing the S2M client, the contract I'd spent 6 months researching. Arthur pointed a finger, ringed and thick, at me. "And you, friend," he crowed, his voice grating, "you get the Acklog project. The dud. The one where we bury the old system. Enjoy sorting through the scrap heap," he cackled. The team laughed with Arthur. It was an act of corporate execution. They'd used me for the groundwork, then handed the glory and the bonus to Mark. I did not move. My expression was blank acceptance. Inside, a sensor tripped. Betrayal confirmed. The anger was not heat. It was a pure, cold compression, tightening my focus. They thought they had assigned me to the dumpster. They didn't understand that the dumpster is where you find discarded evidence. I looked down at the old project file. Acklog Systems, Final Archival. The storm didn't need to form. It was already in the code. The conflict was simple: manipulation for profit. Arthur had systematically set me up as the perpetual understudy. The S2M client was the biggest score yet, and I was dismissed with the Acklog project, a relic from 5 years ago, doomed to deletion. I spent the next 48 hours in the server room, alone. They expected me to run scripts, to finalize the death of the old data. I didn't. I was looking for the signature of the lie. Arthur's instructions were explicit: clear the main operational data only. But the Master Service Agreement, MSA, for Acklog, was missing from the designated archive folders. A crucial legal document vanished. Suspicion shifted to absolute conviction. The missing MSA was the first loose thread. The S2M project was the direct competitor of the old Acklog system. There must have been a non-compete clause they had to bury. My breathing remained slow. I wasn't just archiving, I was hunting. I bypassed the main directories Arthur had pointed me to and went deeper, into the system's shadow data, the hidden partitions usually reserved for error logs. I found it buried in a corrupted file named 99 Legacy Final Config. It wasn't the MSA itself, but a compressed, time-stamped email chain detailing the Acklog closeout. The senders, Arthur and the CEO. The emails confirmed the betrayal. The original Acklog MSA included a punitive, non-compete clause that extended 3 years past termination, complete with a $15 million penalty if the company signed a contract with a direct competitor. Arthur had deliberately shredded the MSA. My hands started shaking, not from fear, but from the sudden immense power of the truth. $15 million. It was a company-killing liability. Arthur's career, Mark's bonus, the CEO's reputation. It was all condensed into that single, toxic email chain. Confrontation was for the weak. Destruction required precision. The annual board meeting was in 40 minutes. The final signature on the S2M contract was the last item. I sent a single email. The recipient, Mr. Wallace, the firm's external auditor. Subject, urgent, Acklog Legacy MSA location. Body, Wallace, I found the final MSA archival data hidden in a shadow partition of the legacy Acklog system. Attached is a secure link to the relevant email chain detailing the non-compete clause violation for S2M. See the 3rd paragraph of the agreement summary. I watched the clock. Arthur and Mark walked past my desk, heads held high. Mr. Wallace walked into the boardroom precisely on time. He placed a sheet of paper down in front of the CEO. Arthur looked over, a coffee mug in his hand. Wallace cleared his throat. "I believe there is an urgent matter of liability before we proceed with the S2M agreement. Section 4, Paragraph C, any active engagement with a direct competitor within 36 months of termination shall trigger an immediate and non-negotiable financial penalty of $15,000 USD. Arthur's coffee hit the floor. The ceramic shattered. Chaos erupted. The CEO's face drained. Mark sputtered. Arthur stared, his eyes wide, pure venom and disbelief. He knew. I walked into the room, silent, holding a simple USB drive. The audit was already underway. The S2M contract was dead. The $15 million penalty was already factored into the report. I looked at Arthur, his career lying in pieces around the puddle of burnt coffee. "Enjoy sorting through the scrap heap, Arthur," I said, a cold echo of his own voice. I turned and walked out. I needed the rebalancing. They thought I was a tool, meant to be buried in the dark. The dumpster was the high ground all along.